Kangtsung village Mukokchung district andere thagya bosti ektare tourism laga potential bishi thagya jani paise. Yade sobse promising ekta do bamboo craft kan bishi age jabole dikhishe. Bosti de state sarkar or tourism department pra madad digina taikan development kan kuriase aro ahya homoi kan de progress kuribole nimide support kuri thagibole akha thagya kushe. Hornbill TV pra Kangtsung bosti de locals or tourists kan kunuba ge khota kushe. Deep Saikya laga report ekta sabo.
Hornbill TV etia present ase Nagaland laga ekta famous village kunto Kangtsung village ase aro itu Kangtsung village tu ki karne famous ase kole all Nagaland te handicraft te production all Nagaland te beshi ase aro itu aji laga kotha nohoy beshi sal age pora itu laga taikhan ekta title buki kene thaki ase aji Hornbill TV ate present hwa laga objective tu koise kole mokhan logote connect hobo pastor aro chairman enaka korikene different various jaga pora aha tourist khan aji Kangtsung village laga jaga te moi khan ahi kine ki changing dekhise earlier etu keneka thakise etu uporte olop briefing koribo pastor logote mokhan connect hobo to welcome to Hornbill TV pastor aji laga apni khan bosti kuntu one of the famous in Nagaland in handicrafts aro aji laga date difference apuni ki dekhise aro itu bosti laga possibilities aro itu bosti laga tourism side hobi development side hobi kineka apni khan feel kori ase being a local public
edo Kangtsung to hoijigoli Mokokchung district ti ase Assam laga border ti ase aro edo poila do edo rasta bi iman bal khanai holibi ajikali edo government laga motor pra rasta kan bi bonai gina etia sob eniga facility kan bi balwar pai ase aro yadi ami ahigina sado yadi tangor scope ase tourism de aro handicraft de especially amakan yadi handicraft de bamboo laga edokan sob balbra jai ase aro edo bamboo machine kambra mutop kambra amakan training bi lose eniga government member bi olop so mutop to paigena amakan di ase aro bi edo tangor scope ikta ase edo jaga do aro jaga do sob alak alak ase holebi Kangtsung laga jaga bi sob si unique jaga ekta ase amagan ahigina lok korigina saigina jaise boledo yati aro sob si unique jaga ekta ase tourism karone aro ito pasodi aro bamboo laga craft handicraft kan yati amagan bishi pona edo pabo aro ito sob se agedi amagan laga government mutopra aro public motor karo NGOs alak alak motor pra amar laga posti do aki loi jabole bishi dangor ase young generation youth kambra aigena research korgena ajikale technology alak alak loigena ito posti aki loi jabole ami bishi welcome kore ase ito oporde amar posti aro bal bra bonabo nemede amagan itia kam bishi kori ase especially amagan 100 years Christianity celebrate koribo nemede edo 2025 ti amagan ito program bi chuli ase ito time ti amagan posti do sondor bonabo aro sobsi aro palbra aki loi jabole amagan program jai ase ito borde government pra ki mudop ti ase tourism department pra holibi alak alak department lobi ami ekta thanks ti chunai ti ase aro bi amagan etam akiti sai ase tourism department pra holibi alak alak department pra amar posti agena pal bonai ti bonemti.
Sir, we have already noticed several stuff here, the watchtower, the rest how place, and several stuff we have noticed. So, apuni khan eto bamboo mission pora bhi ekta rest house banai kine thaka dekhise. To teneka apuni khan yate bamboo logote involvement hoi kine thaka. কি possibility because ekta to Nagaland te tuli paper mill thakisle pohila laga jamanate itu bi raw materials bhal pura pa karne setup korisile etia to mokhan logote tuli paper mill nai hole bi depending on bamboo na ki possibilities yate apuni khan dekhi ase
bamboo bra ki cheez bonabole pare ito amakan sob bonabole parebo like basket aro laundry basket kan aro alak alak chase kan amagan ito bonaboli sob pare aro amar kan laga yati training loboli ko nai modolab amar posti do bamboo goje bole aro bamboo laga related ki handicraft kan ase ito kan sob nature ni khondi thakani chena ase any bacha maiki pura puri sopra ito julai gena ase aro pambu related ito pambu house kan holebi noli cottage kan holebi amagan olop ito bonaishi kolido aro ito porde posti di eniga pambu cottage kan olop pahar mano ahegena bi takhiboli paragan ito kan olop pisili di phal dagi jogolido aro amilaga posti do bishi akidi jaboli dangor scope ase
এতিয়া হৰ্ণবিল টিভি লগতে কানেক্ট হ'ব কানচাং ভিলেজ লগা চেয়াৰমেন আৰু মখানবি তাইকে আজি লগা ডেটতে কাৰেণ্ট ডেটতে বস্তি লগা সিচুৱেশ্যন কি আছে এনভাইৰনমেন্ট কি আছে জানিবলৈ ট্ৰাই কৰিব তো স্যাৰ কেনেকা পহিলা থাকিছে কানচাং ভিলেজ আৰু ইটো লগা হিষ্ট্ৰী আৰু আপুনি খান লগা কথা চাব যাইছে কলে নাগালেণ্ডৰ ফাৰ্ষ্ট হেণ্ডিক্ৰাফ্ট আছে আজি লগা ডেটতে ইটো ভিলেজ কেনেকা ডেভেলপ হৈ আছে
পহিলা বাৰা ইয়াতে হেণ্ডিক্ৰাফ্ট কাৰণে তো Nagaland di first in Nagaland meat production center amiga yati bonaise kintu Nagaland di inika products supply koriboli chaga nai olbi Kangtsung especially Kangtsung posibara meat products to asam di tinda meal di pothe ase tinika ja ase aro government barabi modop to ba ase boado কিন্তু মিটারস অ্যাভেলেবিলিটি হওয়া বারা হে কিবা তো সব তো ওলাবো তো না এর কারণে মিটারস কালেকশন করনে বি গবম বারাবি গারবি দিয়ে দিয়েছে তিনিকা সব আমিকান আজিকালি তো মিট প্রোডাক্টস তো ইয়ার বারা বেশি সাপ্লাই হয়ে আছে আর গবম লগত রিকোয়েস্ট করা তো আমিকান মিট প্রোডাকশন তো বেশি হব কারণে টাকান বাৰবি মদত কৰিব লাগে কিন্তু পইচা নাথাকিলে আমি কান একো কৰিবলৈ নাপাৰে এর কাৰণে টাকাৰ লগত কোৱাটো এইটো আমি কান লগত মদত দিব লাগে তাৰ পৰা আৰু বেছি প্ৰডাক্টস ওলাব পাৰিব এর কাৰণে আমি কান ৰিকোয়েস্ট কৰি আছে তাৰ
How is your feeling after reach Kangtsung village and what do you think about the possibility of bamboo in economic or any other site?
Okay, thank you for having me, HornbillTV. When you ask about my experience, I just want to tell you in terms of a very comical language. You cannot imagine the number of stops I made on the way because the diversity of the species of bamboo that I've seen is just astonishing. It's, there are even some species which I could not identify, and in fact I'm actually thinking of collecting a few samples of the taxonomy and taking it back to Rainforest Research Institute Jorhat to get it tested and probably identify the scientific species. And yeah, it's hard to relate for some people, but for me it's quite an amazing feeling.
Because you are dealing with the bamboo basically.
Yes, technically in love with the material.
और क्या बोलना चाहेंगे इतने सारे रॉ मेटल्स के बावजूद भी ये दिस कांगत्संग विलेज पर्टिकुलरली कौन सा साइड में इसका पॉसिबिलिटीज है और इसमें क्या क्या इंडस्ट्री ग्रो हो सकते हैं
Okay, industries I can think of immediately is several types of tourism, The village is a beautiful Christian community. Even religious tourism can happen. Ecotourism is obviously this, big possibility. And there is tourism that is targeted towards the local food, local cuisines, local handicrafts, which is very famous. And even I've also been part of a kind of tourism where people come to learn local arts. Local crafts, local ways of construction, local ways of cooking and stuff like that. It's sort of an educational and responsible tourism, and that I think has gradually been coming up as a huge potential. And I think yes, Kangtsung does have a big scope for growing in that area. Every time I return I've seen improvements, like it's constant. And yeah, it's noticeable, and that's why I would love to encourage people here to get more into it, like full heart and soul, so that, the growth is faster and more exponential. Bamboo is food, bamboo is paper, it's also being made into textiles now. Yeah, bamboo can be a packing material, it can be tea, it can be, the possibilities are endless. We just need to find out.
You all the way come from outside Nagaland. How is your feeling after reach this particular place and क्या क्या आपने देखा और कैसा लग रहा है?
Let's start with the idea, the perception, what people have outside Northeast, just not Nagaland or Assam or Mizoram. People don't even think that, there are normal people being here. They think that, it's infested with forest and there's, jungle people living here. That's a perception that I intend to break. I have been working in the Northeast for the past, 13 odd years and counting right now. And when you talk about Nagaland, the perception of Nagaland happens to be Dimapur, Kohima, because this is much more talked about. This is much more famous because Kohima, there is Zuku Valley there. People come visit Zuku Valley and it's much more famous. But this is the first time that I'm experiencing Kangtsung. If that's the way it's pronounced.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. And I cannot tell you that, the first time I fell in love with Nagaland was in 2004. And I keep falling in love with Nagaland over and over again. Okay. It's a recurring procedure for me, a recurring feeling for me. And looking at the potential this place has, it's fantastic. It's simply mind-boggling. The reason is, this is like I visited Pulibadzi in Kohima. That's a virgin place, virgin tourist place. Nobody goes there. And this is a virgin tourist place. There's amazing potential here. People could just pick it up, adopt this village. The community could be developed in this village, and you have pockets where you could actually identify and develop communities. So I say that this is going to be a fantastic opportunity for people, and also a fantastic opportunity for people coming from outside to actually experience culture and to understand, mix and mingle with one another, living in the local villages, homes here. Sharing cultural benefits, sharing cultural experiences. You work in my family, you just live according to, in homestays and things like that. So I think it's a very good.
What kind of possibilities you seen here if we talk about the bamboo or some other natural raw materials part?
We are in the process of actually identifying possibilities, but to start off with possibilities, I think we can have ecotourism and rural tourism building, eco-friendly, economical bamboo homes here. And we can open this up for international tourists, basically. And I think that would be the one-stop area where we could think initially to start off doing something, because suddenly you just cannot open up something and get people to come into influx and, you start doing things. It's not going to work out. You start in small pockets, you start in small steps, and then you then grow slowly and slowly. This side of Nagaland, that is actually the Mokokchung area, the Kangtsung area, these are the villages that are actually not, coming in the spotlight, because people think that Nagaland is like Dimapur and Kohima. So I think, yes, it has fantastic potential. And one very important thing we need to understand here is, like, if we identify the potential, there is a whole lot of, chain kind of cascading effect that goes on, where the community also will be involved in it. And imagine bringing people from outside, giving them a short workshop in bamboo handicrafts, where they can make the bamboo handicrafts themselves. Yeah. This kind of an ideas already happened outside. So I think this would be a very good idea. So I would love to say thank you to the Department of Tourism, Nagaland, for doing such a fantastic and commendable job. And I think you shouldn't be stopping, you shouldn't stop at this point, and you should continue the good work. And I hope and pray that, you still continue good work, not just in pockets like Dimapur and Kohima and Zuku Valley and things like that. You should even develop this area too. If you develop this area, we're becoming, I was just thinking about the roads. So being a tourist, if you're going to think about the roads, how will people have access to the roads and things like that? That is one area that we need to look into. Now, if we have that finalized and fixed and done, and if that is out of the way, then I don't think there's going to be any barrier in tourists coming and visiting this place. And the local people here, the community people here, they can open their homes up to tourists from outside. Imagine the potential. So I would honestly and earnestly request the Nagaland government tourism department to actually do something about it.
Being a local artist, apuni bhi ki feel kori ase aru ajikali aha upcoming generation khanke jeneka apuni khan experience kori kina aji iman tak pahunchise nijor bi ekjon artist ase handicraft to ki level te grow hoile national international sobte mokhan ekta nijor bhal platform banabo paribo
moi kam posidi yadi moi bi bamboo laga handicraft pana manu ase aru ito pana do ajikali moi laga sogobra tikha do beshi kisam machine cholai gena bonai gena tikha ase aru ito sai gena olop mondok lagi ase kelimani moi bi ito laga handicraft pana manu ase hole bi machineries pal nataka karone ami ito koribo mon alji hoi jay aru aki jabolia ami nabara hoi jay ito karone beshi machineries kan kunba pra motab korigena ito tisi golido ami hin hoigena mulaga sati kan bi bishi ase mulaga postiti aro iniga handicraft korigena gora manu bishi ase bamboo laga aro bamboo bi bishi available ase to bamboo bishi ase bamboo takigena ito koribolido bishi manu ase ito machineries kan takeshi golido bishi manu aki jaigena ito kam success hobo ami pabana monti ito pabana kori ase
aru enega kwa nisina etia handicraft laga kunto particular village Kangtsung village te mokhan Hornbill TV pahunchi kine ekta huge difference dekhi ase we hope the better result will come aru etu bosti laga progress sabo jaise kole mokhan bhi aru sabole beshi time ase especially ate bamboo loi kine kunto ekta dangor industry laga possibility ase outsider khan bhi aji Hornbill TV te ahi kine eneka kotha korise aru etia eneka moi khan aha pisote various public logote mokhan interact korise aru janibole parise ki etia etu still developing mokhan bosti kobo pare every sector te develop hoye ase so we hope the particular kuntu yate handicraft laga ekta huge possibility ase day by day to increase hobo aru yate ekta dangor employment generate hobo kogine mokhan bi hope kori ase